This is Walt Baby Love. Join me this weekend when we'll talk with Vicki Winans, the Soul Stirrers, and Donald Lawrence. I'll tell you how you can enter and win our new Black Music Month contest, plus this week's inspirational thought that we can all use. All that and more this weekend on Gospel Tracks with yours truly, Walt Baby Love.
9:50 a.m. WEJM, Chicago.
We're listening to Zelda Robinson on the Gospel Connection. It's WEJM, 9:50 a.m. 9:50.
Good evening, Chicago, and welcome to Sunday Gospel on this beautiful Pentecostal Sunday, May 18th, 1997, as we begin the 4 o'clock hour with Ricky Dillard and the New G, Twinkie Clark Terrell, and the Colorado Mass Choir, as we begin with The Preacher's Wife, the soundtrack on 9:50 a.m. WEJM. Yes, Lord, stirring up the gift on a lovely Sunday afternoon on 9:50 a.m. WEJM, where Spirit lives. Twinkie Clark Terrell before that with Bless You Real Good. Ricky D and the New G with Worked It Out, and the soundtrack from The Preacher's Wife, He's All Over Me. Oh, yes, he is. He's in my body. He's in my soul. He's in the very tissue and the lining. He's the essence of my being. God is a good God, isn't he? It's 4:25. Good afternoon. How are you? I'm Zelda Robinson. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll be sharing this lovely Sunday afternoon together until 7. Would like to say hello to Linda Shepard, my workout partner and the program director for Women Employed Career Links Mentor Program. And yes, we need your help. If you would like to be a mentor, please call Linda at 312-782-3902. That's 312-782-3902, and she can answer all your questions. This is for several schools that we work with in the Chicagoland area. St. Josephinem is one, and that's on the northwest side, and also the Abraham Lincoln Center on 38th and Cottage Grove. And we just need a body. A mother who's in the working world and doesn't necessarily have to be in the working world, but knows something about it. We want to share that with our inner city children. I had to get corrected on that. I think I called them last week, I called them disadvantaged children, but I prefer to use the word inner city because that so-called seemingly disadvantage is a blessing in disguise. It makes you appreciate the good when you do have it. Wouldn't you say so? Hello to George, the son of our Sunday morning host, Loren Devereaux, and the Wilson family. George had to be rushed to the hospital this morning, and we are keeping you in our prayers, knowing that that asthma attack is under control, and actually God is in control, not the asthma. And if you'd like to get out of debt, keep listening. Coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, I've got something I know you'll enjoy right now. Weather for the station that plays the best and greatest gospel on a Sunday afternoon. It's 73% humidity outside. It's warm, but honey, it is glorious and it is gorgeous because it's God's day. Cooling off tonight with a 40% chance of rain, down into the 50s and back up into the 60s tomorrow. Right now at Christ Universal Temple, it's 75. At Trinity, it's 75. And on your radio, Zelda Robinson sharing with you the greatest gospel all day long as we continue with Vanessa Bell Armstrong, Christopher Brinson, and Diane McMillan. Here's Chicago's own, the Tommies, on 9:50 a.m. WEJM. Let's go to church, y'all. Christopher Brinson, What If God, on 9:50 a.m. where Spirit lives. Vanessa Bell Armstrong, The Secret is Out, and Chicago's own originals, the Thompson Community Singers. We refer to them as the Tommies. It's 4:40, 20 minutes before the 5 o'clock hour. I'm Zelda Robinson. Stay tuned. More great gospel headed your way with the Chicago Mass Choir. And it's not too late for you to get your tickets to attend July 2nd through July 6th, the Panorama of Truth in Los Angeles, California, on 950 AM WEJM, where Spirit lives. Here's Diane McMillan with God Is. And yes, God is. I thought you'd like that. He has a unique perspective on church, especially Baptist churches, and he finds the humor in it. I find that quite interesting, and I thought you would too. That's Roderick E. Rice. He's a gospel comedian, and if you'd like to get a copy of that, feel free to contact any local record shop, and I'm sure they'll have it for you. Diane McMillan, before that, with God Is. Yes, God is whatever you make God out to be. Your God and my God may be two different gods. And you know what? God doesn't actually care what we call him, her, it. It really doesn't matter, because God is within us as it moves, thinks, and has its being in, through, and around us. And a good example of that is, I was reading an article in the paper, and a young lady, a teenager in Anaheim Hills, California, her name is Aaliyah Boskilia, and she's a waitress. But what's so unique about this is that she's a waitress in a wheelchair, and she's just doing her job, but her manager and her customers think it's special. And she goes to church, she goes to the beach in the summer, she goes skiing in the winter, and she teaches handicapped youngsters at sport camps. Now, you tell me that's not God in action. We sometimes complain about what we don't have and what we do have. And it's good that we learn to see the good in everything, because you can't let your negative situations run your life. Otherwise, you'll always be down. So whenever something's bothering you, think about the young lady with no legs who's working for a living and working out of a wheelchair and doing very well. It's 4:52, 8 minutes before the 5 o'clock hour. I'm Zelda Robinson. Thank you so much for keeping me company. WEJM wants to remind you that coming very soon to Chicago, that means June 1st, yes and yes, you are invited to the Gospel on the Pier. This is a benefit for Nikola Tesla Alternative High School. That's coming up Sunday, June 1st, 2 weeks from today, at 4 p.m. at the Navy Pier Skyline Stage. Now, guess who's going to be there? Chicago's own Angela Spivey and the Voices of Victory. And everybody knows Angela Spivey can sing. And don't forget about her backup choir, the Voices of Victory, and Beverly Crawford, also featuring the New Direction Youth Choir and Kurt Carr and the Kurt Carr Singers. If you'd like more information to get your tickets, call the Gospel Rack, Southwest Center for Women's Health, and Pentecostal Word and Moody Bookstore. And I hope to see you there as we continue with more great gospel with Chicago's own Chicago Mice. Yes, You Love Me on 950 AM WEJM, where we play the latest and, yes, the greatest in Sunday gospel. Good evening, Chicago, and welcome to Sunday Gospel. Zelda Robinson joining you in the 5 o'clock hour as we kick off this hour with Kurt Carr Singers, LaShawn Pace, and yes, your favorite and mine, Richard Smallwood. Here's a brand new one from Lisa Page. I know you're going to love it on 950 AM.
How come there all the stewardess had attitude? I wanted to try to be professional. I was like, could you perhaps share with me where my seat is? And she's like, don't be asking me what you think you're going to ask me. I be telling you everything. Don't be and the pilot was a retired Baptist preacher. Soul Airways.
Soul Airways. So at 950 AM WEJM, where Spirit lives. Oh, I know you'd like that. That's Tommy Ford presents Roderick E. Rice. He is genuinely funny, and he takes gospel and put it in such a manner you can't help but to enjoy it. As we continue with more great gospel, LaShawn Pace before that with Hold On. God is standing by. The Kurt Carr Singers with Kumbaya, and a brand new one from Lisa Page with Jesus will see you through, and a double play, No Other God. And there's no other place I'd rather be than right here, than sharing this great gospel music for you right now, whether for the station that plays the latest and, yes, the greatest in Sunday gospel. It's still just simply gorgeous outside. Right now at Logos Baptist Assembly, it's 73. At Mount Zion AME, it's 72. And on your radio, Zelda Robinson with a guest for you this afternoon you are going to love. Are you having trouble making your ends meet at the end of the month? Too much month left over at the end of your money? Well, I've got a young lady here who you will just love to hear from, announcing Project Babylon. Learn to make your money work as hard for you as you work for it. Never have trouble making your ends meet again, and learn how to get out of debt permanently. You say it's impossible? Well, there's only one way to find out. I have a young lady here by the name of Stephanie Wilson. She's a single parent of a teenager, and she is a graduating senior at Jackson State University, and I love this. She facilitates a workshop entitled Life is Too Short to Drink Cheap Champagne. And it teaches you how to resolve conflicts, achieve goals, boost your self-esteem, build confidence, and change your beliefs about financial prosperity, which is money. And she's currently working to establish an investment club, Project Babylon, that will help African Americans learn how to make their money work for them. Work as hard for them as they work for it. Stephanie, say hello to our listeners.
Good evening, and I want to thank you for asking me to join you and the listeners this evening to talk about this project.
When I heard you say that, when I heard the name of that seminar, Life is Too Cheap to Drink, Life is Too Short to Drink Cheap Champagne, I said, this sister has to have something on the ball. It takes a creative mind to come up with something like that. How did that come about?
Prior to moving here, I'm from Florida, and I worked with a lot of groups. And the one thing that I discovered in working with these groups is that a lot of people have some principles down pat, but they don't have financial or wealth principles down. And they're simpler than even the basic principles that we use in just getting through our day-to-day problems. And I began to tell my friends a lot that, we've got to do better than this. We have to pay attention to our money. We have to learn how to make our money work as hard for us as we work for it. And I soon became known as the lady who refuses to drink cheap champagne. I believe that everything that you want and can dream is yours to have, and that it doesn't make any difference to the creator if you want a Mercedes-Benz or if you want a Ford Escort, because it's all the same. The principles are no secret. They've been here for a long time, and I discovered them in a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. The author of this book has 3 basic steps, and one of them is that we have to learn as people that we are entitled to keep a part of what we earn.
That's a very important word, entitled, because a lot of us don't think that we should pay ourselves first.
That's right. That's what this is. You pay yourself first. The basic principle is we work all day long to pay everybody else. We pay the credit card companies. We pay for the food.
The mortgage.
Cars.
Mm-hmm.
We pay for our living quarters, but we never pay ourselves. So I decided that it would be fun to test these principles, just to see if they work as well as I know they work. I've proved it in my own life. As you mentioned, I am a single parent, and my son is about to graduate from school, and we've done this all by ourselves. Actually, he goes to school and I go to work, so to speak. Mm-hmm. We're going to learn a lot of things. There are a lot of things that are out there, but we don't dwell on. A lot of them are, we know about the traditional investment things. We know about stocks. We know about bonds. We know about savings accounts. We know about CDs. And if you read the research, African Americans have a lot of faith in savings accounts. And we need to learn enough about things like stocks and bonds to get that kind of faith in those areas also. And there are untraditional methods also. And one of the most popular untraditional methods is an investment club. And And for those of you who read Essence, there's an article in this month's Essence that talks about investment clubs. So we're going to uncover all of the things that are out there for us now. And we're going to simply start by keeping a portion of what we earn.
Now, Stephanie, some people will say that, why should I give my money to some people that I don't even know? An investment club? I don't know these people.
Well, the thing that you have to really know about investment clubs is just because it's an investment club doesn't mean you're ready to start to invest. There are a lot of things that we have to learn first. We are probably 12 months away from doing any real investments because the first thing you have to establish is a savings habit.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in debt, the primary reason you're in debt is because you haven't learned how to control your expenses and you don't keep a portion of what you earn for yourself. So you've got to learn a savings habit first.
I guess it's like driving a car. You have to read the rules of the road first before you get behind the wheel.
Exactly. That's a great analogy. Sorry, I didn't think of that one myself.
That's okay. Two heads are always better than one.
That's right.
Well, where can our listeners find out about the Project Babylon on the road to financial wellness?
Our first meeting is going to be held at the Blackstone Public Library. It's in the Hyde Park area at 4904 South Lake Park Avenue. That's on Saturday, May 24th, from 1 to 3 p.m. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, my God, that's Memorial Day weekend. But I say, when is a better time to start?
Mm-hmm.
And, again, that's this coming Saturday, the 24th of May, from 1 to 3 p.m., the Blackstone Public Library, 4904 South Lake Park Avenue in Chicago in the Hyde Park area.
Okay, Stephanie, for people who will just not give up that Memorial Day holiday, where can they contact you if they need additional information to another time when they can participate?
They can reach me during the day between 9 and 5 at area code 312-243-6515, and the extension is 235. Or they can reach me in the evenings at area code 773-538-2327.
And for those who said, well, I just can't save any money, well, we can prove them wrong.
We can prove them wrong.
We can spend money on whatever we want to spend it on. It's priority.
Exactly, and a lot of it is just reinterpreting how you spend your money.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us don't do things, like if we journaled every dime we spent, we do it with dieting.
Now, see,
do
that's
it with your money. You will see where you have money and you've never even thought of it before. You'd be surprised.
Uh-huh.
I used to tease my girlfriends that we get broke one candy bar and one Coke at a time.
Mm-hmm. Well, life is definitely too short to drink champagne. And if you just joined us, it's 5:29, and you're listening to Stephanie E. Wilson. She's announcing the Project Babylon, joining her on the road to financial wellness. And it's coming to Chicago, Blackstone Public Library, and I'll give you more information on that later. But first, I'd like to thank you, Stephanie, for taking the time out of your busy schedule and offering this vast information to our listeners. But before you go, can you do me a favor?
Yes, I will.
Can you tell me, when you're not so busy and you get a chance to turn the radio on, what's your favorite station?
9:50 a.m. with Zelda Robinson.
Thank you so much. It's 5:30 as we continue with more great gospel with a brand new one from Inger Reed, Donald Lawrence, and the Tri-City Singers, and from the request line, CC Winans, as we continue with Richard Smallwood on 9:50 a.m. WEJM. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Danger seen and unseen, there's protect.
From the request line, Richard Smallwood with Angels. That's for Gwen at Christ Universal Temple on 9:50 a.m. WEJM. Stephanie Wilson before that from Project Babylon. And I'll have more information on that for you later as we continue with more great gospel from Donald Lawrence and the Tri-City Singers. Here's a brand new one. God, I know you're going to love it. Inger Reed. From the request line, Donald Lawrence and the Tri-City Singers, When Sunday Comes on 9:50 a.m. We're Spirit Lives. Inga Reed before that, a double play with Wonderful, and yes, he's my everything. Oh, yes, he is. You know, she's the new kid on the block, but boy, is she sounding real good. And you can read all about her in the May-June issue of Gospel Chicago Style. Have you picked up your issue yet? Have you gotten your subscription? Well, it's not too late. Call Andre at Gospel Chicago Style, area code 312-294-0054. That's area code 312-294-0054. And be sure and check out my article. It's called Did You Know That? Yes, well, if you were reading, you would know, and you'll know even more once you read the article. It's 5:52, 8 minutes before the 6 o'clock hour. WEJM wants to remind you to attend Gospel on the Pier. That's a benefit for Nikola Tesla Alternative High School. That's coming up Sunday, June 1st at 4 p.m. at the Navy Pier Skyline Stage as you sit and enjoy the music of Kurt Carr and the Kurt Carr Singers. You heard them here with Kumbaya, Beverly Crawford, and Angela Spiffy and the Voices of Victory. And might I remind you, Beverly Crawford will have with her the New Direction Youth Choir. And you can pick your tickets up at Ticketmaster or the Gospel Rat, Southwest Center for Women's Health, and the World Gospel Explosion, and the Moody Bookstore. WEJM also wants to remind you that Dr. Charles G. Hayes and the Cosmopolitan Church of Prayer Choir invites you to attend the original pre-Memorial Day Midnight Musical. That's Sunday, May 25th. That's next Sunday, a week from today, at 12 midnight in the church sanctuary, 842 East 65th Street. And special guest appearances will include the Colorado Mass Choir, Angela Spivey and the Voices of Victory, Steve Jones and Exhortations, and a surprise guest host choir and the Warriors. Cosmopolitan, call now. For further information, call 773-324-5400. That's 773-324-5400 or 773-324-5410. And don't forget, it's not too late to celebrate your interdependence at the UFBL Panorama of Truth 1997. You do not want to miss this, honey. Les Brown will be there. Yes, my mentor, the man who was responsible for me being in the speaking business. He's going to be in California along with other New Thought speakers, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, Della Reese. So many of them, I can't think of them all, but you don't want to miss this. It's going to be in Los Angeles, California, Wednesday, July 2nd through Sunday, July 6th at the Century Plaza Hotel and Tower. Now, don't wait to the last minute like I did. I just got my reservation. No, I should have done it long ago, so let me warn you, because I do want you to be there with me. Call 773-568-2282. That's 773-568-2282 and make your reservations now. It's 5:55, 5 minutes before the 6 o'clock hour as we continue with CeCe Winans from the request line on 950 AM WEJM with blessed assurance. Sit back, relax, and enjoy as the Spirit moves you.
Sun on the Gospel Connection is WEJM 950 AM 950.
Good evening, Chicago, and welcome to Sunday Gospel. As I join you in the 6 o'clock hour, Zelda Robinson kicking off with Vicki Winans, Hezekiah Walker, and Shirley Caesar as we begin with one of your favorites and mine, Kirk Franklin and the Family on 950 AM where Spirit lives.
For those of you that think that gospel music has gone to...
From the request line, Hezekiah Walker on 950 AM WEJM. I'll be satisfied, Lord. Any way you bless me. God is so good, isn't he? Vicki Winans before that with Work It Out. And at the top of the 6 o'clock hour, Kirk Franklin and the Family with his brand new and stomp. And it's called God's People. And you know, God's people come in all sizes, shapes, and colors. And it does include our children. Does it not? Well, I have a young lady who I know you know her. She attends the Crusaders Church of God in Christ with Apostolic John Eckhart, and she's featured in the latest issue of Indigo magazine, and she has been blessed with the Jefferson Award. And I think you know her as Mama Hawk. Yes, Mama Hawk is well known in Chicago. She teaches academically challenged children, the kids that the school system says that there's no hope for, the kids that we've thrown away. But Mama Hawk says, no way, we are going to take these children and make something out of them. And Mama Hawk, you have done just that. And we recognize that. And we thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. As a matter of fact, for leaving church and coming to talk to my audience. Thank you so much. Say hello to our audience.
Hello, audience, and how are you? God bless.
Thank you so much. I know there is so much going on in your life, but I want to share with our listeners the prestigious award of this award that you were just given, the Jefferson Award. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
The award was founded by Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis in Taft Island, and the award is given to Chicagoans who have done outstanding community service in the lives of others. There were 8 Chicago local winners, and I will be representing Chicago in D.C. for the national competition.
And that says a lot about not only Chicago, but you in particular, because it seems that for people who have not been recognized for taking our inner city children whom the system says that they have no hope for them, you have proved them wrong, have you not?
Well, really, it's to God be the glory. It's that I do what God gives me to do in saving those children that He has put here on this earth. I'm simply following a blueprint as an ambassador for the King, and therefore this program cannot fail because there is no failure in Christ.
Amen. I like that attitude, and that's what has gotten you as far as you have gone.
And God credit for that.
Amen. God is always with us, and He's always, he, she, it, whatever you choose to call it, because God doesn't care, because God just is. But I would like to let our listeners know that how the importance that we take the time and spend with our children and not give up on them just because they don't do what we think they should do or act the way that we think they should act, but spend some time with them.
Right? Children are just little adults, and they replicate a lot of the stuff they see us doing.
And is there one thing that you would like to leave with our listeners today, especially for a child that might be listening? But
to all of our listeners, I always would like to leave the message to love everyone as we expect Christ to love us. And as we pass out that perfect and divine love of Jesus Christ into the lives of anyone, but especially our children, it will come back with His divine love.
Thank you so much, Mama Hawk, for taking the time out of your very busy schedule and blessing us with your presence. But before you go, can you do me one favor?
I sure can.
Can you tell everybody in Chicago, when you're not in church and you're not taking care of the children and traveling all over the world, when you're in Chicago, what's your favorite station?
9:50 a.m. God bless.
God bless you and thank you. It's 6:25. As we continue with more great gospel from Alan and Alan and Edna Tatum and Billy Preston, here's Shirley Caesar on the Gospel Connection, 9:50 a.m. WEJM. Sit back, relax, and let God move you as He, she, or it always will.
He's an all-time God. Yes, He is. Have you ever called Him? It looked like He wasn't coming. You paid your tithes. You did everything that was right. But yet looked like you stayed sick all the time. Well, I come tonight to tell you He will come. Look at somebody, tell Him He will come. You've been calling on the Lord. Come on. Come. Somebody got a son that's in jail right now. Lord, what am I going to do? I don't have nobody to go his bail. Lord, you got to see me through. Not to worry, Lord, you got to get it's a hurry. And you come, hallelujah. All right. He'll come. I called him, and he'll come. Yes, he will. He's a God that's never too busy. Oh, I want you to know he will come. Yes, he will. Expect your blessing any day. Watch out. Let the Lord, you'll make your way. Call him in the evening. I know that there's those of you who feel that he won't come. You know, I was reading in the book of Hebrews, the 10th chapter and the 37th verse. And it reads, "For yet a little while, he that shall come will come and will not tarry." So don't give up and don't give in. But Jesus told me to tell you that your healing is on the way. And he'll come. He'll come. He's a God that's never too busy. And I know he will come. Yes, he will. The God that I serve is gonna make a way. Call him. Oh, yeah. And he'll come.
Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm Susan. Hi, I'm Chris. And we're attending the HRD Institute. A Sunday night with Zelda Robinson on 9:50 a.m. gives us a great outlook on Monday morning.
From the request line, Alan and Alan, you don't know what the Lord has done for me. That's for Lester Coleman from the Cadre program, CADRE, combating alcohol and drugs and rehabilitation. It's 6:35 as we continue with more great gospel from Donnie McClurkin and Etna Tatum and Billy Preston on 9:50 a.m. WEJM.
When you enter life,
Praise your name. You're worthy to be praised.
of listening to the Sunday Gospel Connection with Zelda Robinson on 9:50 a.m.
When you've done all you can, seems like it's never enough. And what do you say when your friends turn away? You're all alone, all alone. Tell me, what do you give when you're giving your all? And seems like you can't make it through. Well, you just stand when there's nothing left to do. You just stand, watch the Lord see you through. Yes, after you've done all you can, you just stand. Tell me, how do you hide
From the request line, from Mother Walker, the battle is the Lord's. Oh, yes, it is. We do not have to handle it all on our own because it does not belong to us. Mother Walker, thank you so much for calling in and letting us know how much you appreciate the Gospel Connection. I know that you've been out of town and you're reporting in. That's what I just love about my listeners. When they're not here, they call back to tell me, well, I was out of town, but I'm back and I'm enjoying the program. Thank you so much. From the request line, Donnie McClurkin with Stand and Edna Tatum and Billy Preston with Praise God, praising God all day. That's what we've been doing. Would like to say hello to the members of the Chicagoland Association of Training and Developers at First Card out in Elgin. Also to all the members of Christ Universal Temple and Hoyne Elementary School, where I'll be speaking Tuesday, and to Toastmasters. And don't forget about the Gospel on the Pier, coming to Chicago Sunday, June 1st at 4 p.m. at the Navy Pier Skyline Stage with Angela Spivey and the Voices of Victory, Beverly Crawford, also featuring New Direction Youth Choir, and Kurt Carr and the Kurt Carr Singers. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster, the Gospel Rack, Southwest Center for Women's Health, Pentecostal Word Explosion, and the Moody Bible Bookstore. So don't forget to call and get your tickets now. Congratulations to Suzanne Zelmansky and Patrick Finnerty are getting married October 18th. Praise God. Thank you so much for the wonderful class you taught at First Card with the ASTD yesterday in Elgin. And also would like to say hello to Pee Wee Nixon on the west side and Mama Kelly and Hazel Crest and to Officer Foster at Cook County Department of Corrections, and also Sylvia and the Mighty Men of Christ in her health class, in which I speak to every Tuesday over at Cook County Jail. And don't forget to get your May-June issue of Gospel Chicago Style. Call Andre Carter and get your latest edition at 312-782-3902. That's 312-782-0054. Gave you the wrong number, okay? 312-994-0054. Finally, I got it right. Okay, and also to Linda Shepard and the women at Career Links and Women Employed. We're looking for mentors, and that means you, because if you have a body and you're a woman, we need you for mentor training, and also we need men also. So call Linda Shepard at 312-782-3902. Would like to say hello to Jackie Simmons, trainer at Naturally Fit, and to Cornell McClellan, my personal trainer, and Sean, and I didn't forget about John. And don't forget to celebrate your interdependence at the UFBL Panorama of Truth, July 2nd through July 6th at the Century Plaza Hotel and Tower at 2025 Avenue of the Stars, Century City, Los Angeles, California. You don't want to wait until the last minute. Call 773-568-2282 and get your tickets. Get your reservations now, and I'll see you there in July. And I'll see you back here next week from 4 until 7, and we'll do it all over again. And remember, whatever you do throughout the week, keep God in your heart, a little laughter in your smile, and know that everything is going to be all right. And whatever you do, don't give up, because help is just around the corner. Take some time, go within, and contact your God, and know that everything will be all right. Whatever you do, good night, and God bless. Hold on, help is on the way.
When you're down and in despair, don't be uneasy, because He'll be there. Say, don't you worry, no, don't you fret. The Lord has never failed you yet. So hold on, help is on the way. Hold on,
We're listening to Zelda Robinson on the Gospel Connection. It's WEJM 950 AM. 950.
About anything, I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And he's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
950 AM, WEJM, Chicago.
We now take you to the live broadcast of the Logos Baptist Assembly. The Logos Baptist Assembly is located at 10833 South Halsted Street in Chicago.